we're standing in front of a die casting machine that takes molten aluminum, scoops it up in a cast iron ladle, and pours it into the injection machine. Behind me, you'll see the machine spraying lubricant and mold release into the mold before injecting the molten aluminum. The part comes out of the mold at 600 Celsius, and an automated arm will pick it up off out of the mold and drop it on this cooling line. Off the line, the part looks like this with a bunch of sacrificial flow wells, and the processor will knock them off. Then he puts it in this clamping machine where he'll snap off the gates and the runners. Okay. With all the gates and flashes removed, this part looks like this. It's a frame for a 3D printer. 也没看到那喷的那个吧。After coming out of the mold, they'll polish it and then wash it. And then the part comes here. This is the frame for a resin vat for a 3D printer. They will mount it onto this line where the part will spin. They'll burn off any contaminants that are residing on it after the wash. It'll go in for spin spray coating and then be baked off before coming out the other end of the line. So this side is the start of the line, and this side is the end of the line where they're taking off the sprayed baked components. This automation line is common for applying a continuous and even coat where the bushing will rub against this wall, causing the part to spin. And then as the part spins, there'll be a spray nozzles at multiple angles to ensure that the part is evenly coated through all the crevices. So here we have two parts, one before the paint job and one after. So this part just has a color coat, a basic color coat on it. And because it was spun on the line, you can see how evenly the coat is distributed throughout. When applying paints, there are a few options you can go with. You can go with just the color coat, or you can apply a primer layer before the color coat to increase adhesion of the coat to the substrate. And then if you need a lot of outdoor exposure, you may want to apply a UV hard coat on top of that to increase its resistance against color bleaching like UV sun bleaching, as well as increase the hardness of the surface to prevent against scratches. After the parts come out of the mold and then they're polished, they're placed in this ultrasonic bath for a deep clean to remove all of the oil and contaminants that are on the part. How an ultrasonic bath works is there's a piezo transducer underneath that pulses the walls of this tub. They'll create a standing wave against the part that generates cavitation, generating these micro explosions all along the surface to clean the part. Afterwards, they're washed in these successive baths with different cleaning solutions to wash off any residual components. So after washing the parts in the ultrasonic bath, they'll raise it up and then use the crane to move it across and drop it into these successive washing baths. Like that. Oh, 还给你吧。就是它会那个零件会在这上长，他们会把。不是，它下面有个盒子。Behind me is custom equipment for post-processing these parts. These machines drill and tap the holes.
配什么8000套一个月。
不好意思，我见一下它。This is super cool. This is a custom designed rotating fixture automation that will drill and tap dozens of holes in one go. So in this room, they do one last visual inspection before sending it off to post-processing steps like electroplating, which will amplify any surface defects. This is an aluminum enclosure base that's been powder coated. With this part, you can see you have this thick matte coat of paint. And what it does is it maximizes the environmental resilience. So powder coat will typically be used in industrial applications where the device is expected to be outside for most of its lifetime, as opposed to just a paint coat, which is more common in consumer applications. This is a really cool part. This is the frame and heat dissipator for an aftermarket automotive headlight. So here will sit a LED board and a collimator lens at the front. So let's look at how this part is made. If you look closely here, you can see, based on the reflection, that the change in draft here. So there we can see that the parting line is right along this ridge and meeting up with this face here. This is the parting line upon which the mold opens up. So it opens like this. And then in order to create these features here, as well as this pocket cavity here, you have sliders coming out the sides. So a fan will mount in here to blow air through these fins to dissipate heat. And then here you can see some support and locating pins to locate the LED board. Very neat part. We have a few more very cool zinc die-cast components here for you. So this is a decorative bishop head, just to showcase just how intricate of parts you can create with die casting. This is a die-cast queen's head that is made of zinc and then copper plated and then painted with black paint. This is a zinc caster wheel that is chrome plated for this shiny finish. Zinc is 2.5 times heavier than aluminum, but it flows better, so it's better for heavier parts and more intricate components because it can better fill in the intricate details in molds. Sometimes you will want a heavier part, like with these guitar pedal boards. Okay, let's talk about finishes for die-cast parts. On my left, we have painted parts. In the center, we have electroplated parts. And on my right, we have functional coatings, including anodized aluminum and powder-coated parts for maximum environmental resilience. Over here, we have copper electroplated components. I thought they were cosmetic chess pieces, but they're actually fancy perfume bottle heads. Here are a few bright chrome plated components. This is a cap for a parasol, and this is a caster wheel. Here we have a windshield wiper for a luxury sports car, as well as the headlights we talked about before, and a gaming pedal. One thing to note is that while these may look like anodized parts, actually this is the only anodized component. Why this is that with die-cast parts, silicone is added to increase the flowability of the aluminum alloy. The silicone content in die-cast aluminum makes it unsuitable for anodization. It's difficult to control anodization color. So if you want to anodize die-cast aluminum, the safest bet is to anodize it black. As an alternative, these might look like anodized aluminum parts, but they're actually just painted a matte color to look like anodization. And with painting, you can achieve a very high color accuracy. This looks like it's powder blasted anodized aluminum, but it's actually a zinc part painted this color.